Hey everybody! Basketball is back. 11 episodes in to the Banners broadcast, the official episode, the official podcast of Celtics blog. We've been doing throwbacks. We've had so much to talk about over the offseason. The team came and went. We have a brand new roster this year, and just like that, it makes the preseason that much more exciting. So this is the first time pretty much in my whole life watching the Celtics that I've been pumped up, ready to watch the Celtics in the first preseason game. It's been talked about at length. Around the league, you get maybe 400, 500 fans at a preseason game. Celtics were practically sold out last night, and that just tells you the anticipation for this team this year. And the number one thing yesterday gave us was really that first vision of this team, what it looks like, what all these players are capable of. Aron Baynes impressed not only Tommy Heinsohn, but us as well. We're going to get into him today. We're going to get into who we feel good about, who we feel bad about after the first preseason game, as well as some breaking news tonight on the Marcus Morris front. I'm not going to do it alone. We have Greg Casoli with us today. We have Celtics Blog's newest member, Matthew Chin, with us today. Matthew, introduce yourself to everybody. You got to let them know who you are.
Yeah, nice to be here, Bobby, Greg. I've been at Celtics Blog for a couple weeks now, so hopping on the podcast, and what a time to be writing about the Celtics, covering the team. It's been a long, eventful offseason, and overall, it's just good to have basketball back in our lives.
So, there you go. Now you know him well. You're going to get to know him over the course of this show. Did anyone else, Matt, in particular, stand out to you yesterday? I know Tatum was impressive in his first showing. Was there anyone really that stuck out to you, whether it was on that bench unit or in the starting lineup?
Yeah, a couple people really stuck out to me in general. Obviously, you talked about Tice a little bit. I thought he did a little of everything. A little bit of rim running. He was trying to dunk everything at the hoop. Attacked a closeout to get an and one toward the end of the game there. Obviously hit a long three. Got an offensive rebound, kicked it out for a wide open three. So I thought you saw a lot from Tice. He's such a fluid athlete. I think when you see him play, you can tell that he's had 5 years of professional experience playing in Germany. His team has won 3 of the last championships in the German league. So I was really impressed with him. And then also Aron Baynes starting at center. A little bit unclear if he's going to get the starting call with Marcus Morris away from the team right now. But I was really impressed with what he was able to bring. He's someone, and I think his skill set is something that the Celtics have really lacked since Kendrick Perkins, kind of a bruising big man who isn't afraid to crash the glass on both sides. He got into it a little bit with Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. I love to see that fire in a preseason game. And he's really knows his role. He knows what he's good at, setting big, heavy screens, finding creases for those 12 to 17-foot jumpers, and just being a big physical presence inside. I mean, they did a little bit of a post-game interview with him, and he talked about how he's not afraid of contact. He's someone that really embraces it. And I think along the Celtics front line, they've been so small over the past couple years and stressing small ball lineups. It's nice to have that kind of option when you see some of the bigger players who are just handling the Celtics, especially down the stretch in the playoffs last season with Robin Lopez and Tristan Thompson and guys like that. It's nice to be able to deploy a big man like Aron Baynes.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about Baynes and what to expect from him. So him more than anyone, it was really nice to see him out there in a starting role, playing extensive minutes. He got into that second stretch of the bench unit where he was able to get some minutes with them as well. A lot of things stuck out to him about me. He had a quick release when it was Kyrie, whether it was Smart dumping out to him after they drew some defenders off of him. His range isn't great, only goes out to about the edge of the paint, but he's deadly accurate when he gets that look around there. It looks like he's going to be able to finish, clean up around the glass. There's a lot of things to like about him. We saw a lot of him yesterday, and it's a great point. Amir Johnson, as much as I loved him, clearly on his last legs last year into the playoffs, and it just seems like Baynes is a fresh version of him. We've compared him a lot to Johnson. Doesn't have the three-point shot like Johnson had, but it seems like he's going to be able to contribute in a number of ways. It's going to be very interesting to see in what capacity they use him, because he's definitely going to be a useful skill set that there's really not another guy that does what he does on this roster. It's going to be very useful tool for them to be able to use. Matt, great point. They haven't had a guy like that since Perkins. Be able to bang. You look at that Chicago series last year when Robin Lopez was terrorizing them, when Gortat was terrorizing them in the second round on the boards. It felt like if you plugged Baynes in there, it would have been a good counter to that. So it's great they finally have him out there. We got to see quite a bit of him. Tommy Heinsohn. Tommy Heinsohn got to see a little bit more of Baynes. There was no way we were going to do this Banners broadcast episode 12 today without talking about Tommy's insane comment. I talked about at the beginning, this game didn't need any more hype, any more excitement, anything else to put our eyes on it. With all the hype around this team, all there was to see yesterday, and he goes out and makes the call of the season in the first preseason game. I don't even know where to go with this, because I'm going to hand it off to Greg. Did he actually see Baynes in the shower? Like, what kills me most about this is how matter of fact he said it, like he was doing his due diligence. I took a look at Baynes in the shower, like it was something he had to do.
Yeah, I was actually at the game, so I didn't hear it live, but I came back home and Twitter was abuzz, and it was just like almost surreal. I just kept watching this little clip of it over and over because I've never heard someone so casually just like throw out, I was looking at people in the shower. So it was pretty classic Tommy though. It was like weirdly comforting.
I said it last night. That is never, ever, ever a good way to start a sentence. I took a look at so-and-so in a shower.
And typical Mike Gorman to just brush it off, keep rolling with it, ignore all the crazy things that Tommy says. Is there anyone in the league who has more job security than Tommy Hinson? Like, he knows he can just get away with saying whatever he wants, and he can, take the away games off, chill in the studio, let Scal travel with the team. Like, it's just classic Tommy Heinsohn.
Yeah, and if he did take a look at Baynes in the shower, it seems like he'd be the only person to ever have that kind of access to the team. I mean, I was listening to some podcasts, like guys who have covered the league for hundreds and hundreds of games, were just like, there's no circumstance where I would be near the shower. I'm dying. I don't think anyone's ever going to ask him again, but I'm dying to hear if he actually would, like, what was he doing in the shower? I don't know. I do want to say, I haven't addressed it yet, but Jared Weiss, on the forefront of the news tonight on the Marcus Morris front. Great reporting from him on that aspect. Some of the news we heard out of Arizona. He had some of the details first there. Great reporter who I'm so sad to see not getting his byline on the site anymore. A Celtics blog originator. We've seen a lot of legends come through the Celtics blog site who have gone on to do great things in the national media, and now Jared is the next in a long line of them. He's been with the site since I started. Greg got to spend a little bit of time with him. Matt, not as familiar with him, kind of coming in here in his...
I've followed him for years.
Yeah.
I've followed Jared for years. He's a great writer. Everyone should go to USA Today, check out his stuff now. He's going to be doing some really, really interesting work over at USA Today. It's going to be a tough loss for the blog for Jared to be gone.
Couldn't have said it better myself. I know Greg feels the same way. We owe a big debt of gratitude to Jared because he kind of took that extra effort. A lot of people have come and written for this site, given their thoughts and stuff, but Jared took that next step, established relationships with the Celtics organization. I mean, he tells us again and again, they read what we write over here, so that's always fun to hear. And, taking the blog from being, a blog kind of has that negative connotation, but it seems like around the league, around the basketball realm, NBA, Twitter, people have come to respect Celtics blog as a legitimate, forefront, credible news organization, journalistic organization when it comes to covering the Celtics. I know we're all grateful that we're viewed in that way, and we're kind of carrying the torch that Jared started for us, so we thank him a lot. We're going to miss him glad he'll still be at the Garden. Glad he'll still be with CLNS Media on our part, but want to thank him for the advice he gave to me coming up with the site. Matt got to give his words, Greg as well. Craig, what can you say about Jared? Nothing but good stuff, right?
For sure, yeah. He's been nothing but, or was nothing but supportive from my first day there. Actually, my very first day at Celtics blog, really, I think I had like a 7 or 8 long email chain with him because I was trying to write something and I had no idea what I was doing. So definitely appreciate all the support he gave us. And shouts to you, Jared. Great job.
No doubt. Thanks, Jared. We're going to keep it moving at Celtics blog as we always do. Be sure to check out the film breakdowns, the analysis from Game 1, Tice article up, Aron Baynes article up, a number of news stories up now as they continue to flow through. It never stops on the Celtics front. So thank you for everybody for listening. Give us a subscribe. We're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're on the CLNS Media app, so you can find us anywhere, no matter what phone you have. Thanks to Greg. Thanks for Matt making his debut on the Banners broadcast. As always, check out what they're doing over at CelticsBlog.com. We'll see you next week. Thank you, guys, and thank you for listening, everybody. Peace.